Ethical hiring practices and other business ethics related things regarding this next unit you guys are going to be going into. First, we're going to talk about how business ethics gives companies the necessary principles in order for them to recruit the right way, the ethical way. That way, they're not discriminating against anyone. And there's a step by step way in which companies do that. The Fair Labor Alliance describes ethical recruitment as the process of engaging a worker fairly, transparently, and on merit. Fairly meaning you're not going to take anything that's not needed to be into consideration. You're going to be completely transparent and honest with the candidate, and you will judge them based off of their merit and their potential skill in the job. Ethical recruitment practices do not discriminate against race, gender, ethnicity, and age. And although these are bad things that you should not discriminate against about anyways, if you did do that, it's illegal to. So you cannot discriminate against any of these four things. Not that you should, and it's illegal anyway. Some unethical hiring practices are the unequal treatment of candidates. Earlier today, me and my friend went to Domino's to do a job interview, standard stuff, and he looked at both of us, right? And say he knew my friend but didn't know me, and he hired him instead of me. That would be an unequal treatment of a candidate. Or if I was hired because I knew him before and my friend didn't get hired because he doesn't know the guy, that would be an unequal treatment of candidates. A lack of information or wrong information in the job description. You have to be completely transparent and honest in the job posting what the job will do and what the employee will have to do in order to complete their job. You cannot be vague. You have to tell the employee what they will be doing and what jobs they will be carrying out. You could also not use social media to mine private information. You could find public information from social media. Say a potential employee is posting hateful things online. You could definitely use that as a judge to not hire someone. But you can't do is use their social media to try to find private information that's not publicly known. You can't contact these companies asking for their histories. You can't go stalking accounts and trying to piece together things that you wouldn't know unless you pride to find it. And that leads us into our fourth point, which is collecting irrelevant information. You should only collect information that is absolutely necessary for the job search about your client. You should not be finding out anything about them that you don't absolutely need to. An example of unethical hiring is that during the Great Depression, millions of workers lost their jobs due to the economic collapse. Francis Perkins, the New York State's Commissioner of Labor, said that married women should bear the brunt of this since they're already being cared for by their husbands. The ironic thing is that Francis Perkins herself is a married woman who had a job making $8,000 a year, which is $145,000 in today's money, which is quite a bit. Nothing much to scoff at there in terms of the earning department. But what she said about women workers is that the woman who competes with a necessity worker is a menace to society, a selfish, short sighted creature who ought to be ashamed of herself. That's what she said about married women working. And despite comments like that, and despite being a married woman, she was eventually made the Secretary of Labor of the United States under Franklin Delano Roosevelt's cabinet. And by 1940, 26 states would have legislation restricting the employment of married women. Before that happened in 1932, the government even banned married couples from working together in the government. The government would have to fire the husband or the wife that are both working for them, and usually that would end up being the wife, which led to a lot of women losing jobs, a lot of women not getting married, getting secretly married, or getting married and not changing their last name so their employers don't know. This law stayed in place until 1937 when women's rights groups were able to lobby it out. Laws that prevent unethical hiring are the Civil Rights Act of 1964, pioneered by Martin Luther King, which prohibits discrimination in employment based off of race, color, religion, sex, and national origin. The Americans with Disabilities Act prohibits discrimination against qualified individuals with disabilities, and the Age Discrimination in Employment Act protects individuals aged 40 and older from age based discrimination in hiring. Thank you for listening, and these are some of the sources I used. I look forward to seeing you guys again Monday.